Today, we're exploring Puerto Rico's west side, a region filled with beaches, mountains, churches, fishing villages, surf towns, incredible food, and some of the best fascinating history on the island. So grab a drink, let's hit the road, and let's head west. Hola everybody, welcome back to another episode of Chronicles and Cocktails. I'm Josue, the spirited historian. Today, I want to show you what is probably my favorite part of Puerto Rico. The West. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe it's the beaches. Maybe it's the food. Maybe it's the people. Maybe it's just the drive. Or maybe it's because this place has been part of my life for a very long time. When I was a teenager growing up in Utuado, I was already drawn to the West. The radio stations I listened to came from the western side of the island, like Cosmos 94. Who remembers that? We used to visit Crash Boat, and since then, it's one of my favorite beaches of all times in Puerto Rico. Then something happened. I was accepted to the University of Puerto Rico at Mayagüez, El Colegio. For a brief time, Mayagüez became part of my life. I remember Calle del Bosque, the bars, the atmosphere, the whole feeling. The feeling that this part of Puerto Rico had its own personality. Life moved differently here. Eventually, I left. I decided to go see the world. But years later, I found myself coming back. And this time with the best companion I could ever ask for. My wife. And eventually, our children. Together, we've explored plazas, beaches, restaurants, bakeries, lighthouses, fishing villages, and mountain roads throughout western Puerto Rico. We've eaten ice cream in Lares, walked through San Sebastián, watched sunsets in Rincón, visited Crash Boat Beach in Aguadilla, and discovered places that somehow keep pulling us back. So today, I wanted to take you on a visual journey through Puerto Rico's west. Not every town, not every attraction, just some of the places, stories, and memories that make this region special to me. For much of Puerto Rico's history, the island was effectively divided into two great regions, the Partido de Puerto Rico in the east and the Partido de San Germán in the west. For centuries, San Juan and San Germán served as the two principal administrative centers of the island. In other words, the cabildos. The western district stretched across an enormous territory. Many of today's western towns trace their root back to that historic division. And they're all sons of San Germán. And although those boundaries no longer exist, the region still maintains a strong identity. People don't just say they're from a town. Many proudly say they're from the West. The journey begins along Puerto Rico's northwestern coast, places where cliffs meet the Atlantic, where rivers carve their way through limestone, and where some of the island's most scenic drives can be found. El Río Guajataca has shaped this landscape for centuries. And nearby, the famous tunnel remain one of the most recognizable landmarks on the northwestern coast. This is the kind of place that makes you slow down and simply enjoy the drive. Isabela and Quebradillas are two of my favorite towns there. But you gotta remember, they're all my favorite towns. And then you drive on number 2 road and you see the scenic ocean and the cliffs of Isabela in the distance. And that's a very pretty picture. If you go around Quebradillas, around the plaza, you'll find even breweries and restaurants and places to eat, chinchorros. Isabela, it's one of my favorite towns in the West. The town center, beautiful. And up in the hills, very nice too. So when you're driving west, don't be rushed. Take your time. But the West isn't just the beach and seafood. It's also up in the mountains. Lares and San Sebastián, two very historic towns. If Puerto Rico has comfort food in frozen form, it might be found in Lares. For decades, visitors have made the trip to sample the town's famous ice cream flavors. Some traditional, some very creative, like arroz con habichuela or arroz con gandules. Yes, they do have those flavors. And somehow it has become part of the experience of visiting the central western mountains. A short drive away sits San Sebastián del Pepino, a town known for its festivals, rivers, and waterfalls and agricultural traditions. The kind of place that reminds you why Puerto Rico's countryside remains special. Aguadilla is one of the towns and municipalities that we've stayed the most. And we've stayed in different areas of Aguadilla, by the airport, by the beach, in the Malecón, in the town square. Beautiful. Few places represent the modern West better than Aguadilla. Beaches, surfing, restaurants, nightlife, and of course, incredible sunsets. Crash Boat Beach has become one of Puerto Rico's most recognizable beaches. But honestly, some of my favorite memories here happen around the table. My favorite restaurant in Aguadilla is Sal de Mar. Fantastic food, fantastic atmosphere, and if you're near the airport, Cinco has become another favorite stop over the years. And remember, no sponsorship here. I'm just telling you my favorites. In Aguadilla, you can see the ocean. You can taste the history. You can feel it by walking the streets of the old town. Or you can go up at the top in Borinquen. You can play some golf over there and just drive and stop at little bars, chinchorros, restaurants, fondas, panaderias, and even chocolaterias. Tradition holds that Cristobal Colón made landfall near this region during his second voyage in 1493. Whether you're standing in Aguada or driving toward Rincón, you're traveling through one of the earliest chapters of Puerto Rico's story. Today, the region tells a different story. Surfboards, coffee shops, seafood restaurants, visitors from around the world. You hear Spanish, English, French, German, and a variety of accents carried by the ocean breeze. Two of our favorite restaurants in the West are La Casa del Dorado in Aguada and The Drunken Octopus in Rincón. Both great stops. Mayagüez, it's a very historic city, and it's the main city in the west side. You find everything you want, close enough. Mayagüez will always be personal for me. This was my introduction to life outside the mountains of Utuado. I still remember Calle del Bosque, the concerts, the bars, the energy, and years later, Mayagüez became part of our family's history too. In Mayagüez, visit the Plaza de Colón and have a coffee right there too. Just drive around or walk around the streets of old Mayagüez, which are very interesting, and it's a beautiful town actually. This is where our national beer is brewed, Medalla Light, just a few minutes from the plaza. Mayagüez has tradition, great restaurants, and it also has all the amenities of a regional city, including an airport and seaports. And now, Cabo Rojo. Few places capture the beauty of Puerto Rico's west like Cabo Rojo, but this landscape has stories too. Salt production helped shape the local economy for generations, and you can still visit the salt mines. Pirates once roamed these waters. Ships crossed these routes for centuries, and today, the lighthouse stands watch over one of the most spectacular coastlines in the Caribbean. And let's not forget, Cabo Rojo was attacked by the English. These two towns are very, very historical. Guánica occupies a special place in Puerto Rican history. Its harbor has welcomed travelers, traders, and soldiers for centuries. Today, it remains one of the most beautiful coastal communities in southern Puerto Rico. And this is the particular point where American troops landed on July 25, 1898, to take over Puerto Rico. And nearby Sabana Grande? Well, it offers a different place, a classic Puerto Rican town center, a beautiful church, a welcoming plaza, and a reminder that some of the island's greatest treasures aren't famous attractions. They're simply places where people live their lives. Take a stroll down the streets of Sabana Grande. You'll find coffee shops, panaderias, bars, restaurants, and yeah, some chinchorros too. And now, onto the big daddy of all the western towns, San Germán. No story about Puerto Rico's west, or all Puerto Rico for that matter, would be complete without San Germán. The town actually moved several times before settling in its current location. attacks, geography, and changing circumstances shaped its history. Today, it is home to one of Puerto Rico's greatest historical treasures, the Portacelli, one of the oldest church structures in the Americas. And if you want to see the oldest churches within United States jurisdiction, click this episode. And a reminder of just how deep the roots of Western Puerto Rico truly are. When you visit San Germán, it's like going back in time. You think old San Juan is going back 500 years? San Germán, it's like frozen, and you can still see the streets the way they were, the buildings the way they were. It's truly a time machine. So, I urge you to go visit. For today's episode, I wanted to create a special cocktail. Well, here in Puerto Rico, it's actually very common. We mix passion fruit with rum and mint, and we make a mojito. Because it's tropical, it's beachy, it's fun, and it's refreshing. A drink that feels right at home in Western Puerto Rico. Passion fruit grows in the West. Well, it grows all over, but they have farms here. Some of Puerto Rico's rum is distilled in the West. And together they create something refreshing enough for a warm afternoon by the coast. So grab 2 ounces of white rum, and of course, we prefer Puerto Rican rum. A few leaves of yerba buena. Sometimes I mix it with mint also. Simple syrup, fresh passion fruit or passion fruit puree, and club soda. Serve, garnish with more yerba buena, and enjoy. I've traveled throughout Puerto Rico. And I've been fortunate enough to travel beyond Puerto Rico as well. But every time I come back to the West, something feels familiar. Maybe it's the roads. Maybe it's the beaches. Maybe it's the food. Maybe it's the memories. Or maybe it's simply the people. Whatever the reason, the region continues to feel like home. Tell me, what do you love about the West? Which is your favorite town? Which is your favorite beach? And where do you like to eat? Let me know, because I'm going back very soon. And maybe I'll feature different areas that I haven't seen. So let me know in the comments. What do you think? How do you like the West? Have you visited the West ever? So, thank you for joining me on this journey through Puerto Rico's West. If you visited any of these places, let me know your favorites in the comments below. And if you've never explored Western Puerto Rico, I hope this episode inspires you to take a drive. So, thank you for watching Chronicles and Cocktails. I'm Josue, the Spirited Historian. Have fun, have a beautiful Sunday, get smart, be nice, subscribe, share this episode, like it, and don't forget to go to church. And until next time, keep exploring. And salud.